Hello guys, how are we doing and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a walkthrough guide on Vault Control. So if that's a map mode combo you struggle with or feel like you could improve upon, this video is most definitely going to be for you. The gameplay itself is a relatively old one. It was when I was in Crim 3. I'm duo stacking, so it's not like a gameplay where I'm relying on communication from the whole team. I'm only playing with one other player. We win 3-1, so there's an offense and defense win at least. And then finally, my stat line was I just got a little over 40 kills and a little over 20 deaths, so almost a 2 KD, whilst performing relatively decently. The game starts a little rough while we learn the tendencies of the other team, but we eventually get into a real nice, smooth gameplay, and we're going to be talking through the strats that are going through my mind as I'm playing this, so that hopefully you can adopt those tendencies when you're next playing Vault Control and have a better chance of success. Don't want this to be super long, so I'm going to skim over things hopefully quite quick. So I'm going to break down the main points that I want you to try and take away with as it appears in the gameplay. But I don't want this to be a 50 minute video. I want this to be a nice video you can watch just to remind yourself of how to play Vault Control. So let's kick it off. As I say, if you have any questions about very particular gunfights, or why did you take this angle over this angle or something like that, leave it down in the comments below. DM me on X or Twitter, or DM me on Discord. That's absolutely fine. So let's kick off with the gameplay. Enough of the nattering. Let's see what we got here. So the important thing is we're trying to determine what point we should go for here, whether it's A or B. Because the two people that we can't control on the map are going towards A, we're stacking it. Now, importantly, I'm trying to fill the gaps there. Not so great. We've got a player going pool. We've got a player going catwalk. And we've got the me and the other player that are communicating are hitting the point. Okay, so we've filled the points. If it was to happen that both of these two players hit the point as well, I perhaps would have decided to take up the catwalk action. So it's about filling them gaps, importantly, making sure that you've got cat control when you're playing on this map mode combo. A nice sky nade from the enemy team there, which is absolutely fantastic. You love to die to those. And we're just trying to break out this hill. We haven't got many kills. We haven't had much opportunity here. I'm just trying. That was a real nice play for me, to be fair. I don't want to break that down, but I baited the player into the hall, backed up, and then they just fell straight into my aim. We are aware there's another player lurking somewhere, so we're trying to play for that player. We unfortunately do get traded out, and we're sort of trying to get out of spawn. Okay, that really early death did hinder us. So this is going to be a real hard battle to win. And we're really just trying to look for openings. Okay, so I'm trying to stay with my teammates, trying to enable trades as much as I can. Try and read players as they try and push me. That's what the strategy is here. Just try and get the initial kills, reset them back in their spawn, and then we can sort of get up and up and up the map. So that's currently. So if I display this in like a format like this, is that we were pretty much stuck behind this line. Okay, well that is a line, but that's not what I wanted. We're pretty much stuck behind this line. Okay, so what we needed to do was play very carefully to get the kills around these areas. And the first kill happened to be on my player who was pushed up here, so we managed to get the trade on that player. I then baited out a play from, because I knew they had mid control, so I then baited out a player from mid, managed to get that kill. I think a couple of other teammates get the kill, and it left it so that there was at most one player left standing. Okay, so that's 3 players who have just reset back into the spawn, and then there was one more player to look for. We eventually kill that player, who because they didn't come for a trade. I knew they'd be in a credit corner, so I checked the corners going into P1 as you just saw, and then once we got that kill, they're then reset into P back into the spawn. So now it's the play here is just to stop them getting to us. Okay, so then when we've got those kills, we've decided to move up the map a bit. So now we have control of this much space. We've got this control. They've just spawned in around here, which means we need to take the gunfights now in between. Excuse me, in between. Where we are, which is sort of in this zone, and where they're going to be. Okay, so I'm stunning and nading lobby or lights, whatever you want to call it, to hopefully make sure they can't come through that way. That's where we're most likely to meet them next. But as I say, it's not about just running out of spawn and hoping you get the kills. It's not about getting the kills, progressing, get the next kills, progressing, and that's how control really does work, especially on offense. This is still proving a difficult round, but because my teammates managed to get security of A. I've got a good amount of reliance that we can, push into this area. I read the pinch because I saw that there was someone on the left from the teammate, and the team was shooting. I heard shots and whatnot, so I knew that's where they were coming from. So I just read the pinch, and we're in a good position. My teammates are far enough on the map that we can keep pushing up and keep this momentum going. At the moment, every gunfight we have is in the middle of the map. So we don't want to be really slow off the hill, off the spawn, because we want it to be that every gunfight we take is in the middle and not in our spawn. So when we've got this momentum and when we're just flying at people over and over again in this middle area, this P1 or A zone, you want to be making the most out of those gunfights, making sure that you don't give them the map control back, which is why you'll see me sort of headbutt this point over and over again. And it's eventually paid off. My teammates played their life a little bit. They've managed to get a decent control of the map. And now we're in a really good position. So we've just got a couple of kills here. We've now got control of, if I look at the map, I imagine we've got control of this area of the map, okay? So that's what control we have right now, which is really nice position to be in, because all we need to have is this objective. But the important thing, and something that I'm always trying to get in my mind, is we've got control of that. Looking at where my teammates are positioned, we don't have control of the street. We don't have control of like over here or here. So in my head, I'm going, okay, in an ideal world, I need to get past this point into this building so that they spawn over here. Okay, when they spawn over there, I can look out across this opening and just catch them running to the point over and over again. So that's my inside goal. That's what I'm trying to strive for. But in order to get that, I still need to win gunfights. So we're in this zone here. Enemies would have spawned here, meaning that by the time, if we just ran to point now, they're either going to catch us running out of here, so we're going to die. They're either going to catch us running out of here. So the choices we make now are really to get the map control and try and play for a couple more kills. Okay, that's sort of what's going on in my head as we speak. So I've got a sub in my back pocket. I'm supporting my teammate out here. I do unfortunately nearly get killed there. Did bait my teammate in a little bit, and I just didn't regain health enough. I probably should have run away, but it's one of them sticky situations. So we're currently reset back into gold. And again, I see a lot of people spawn in here and just run forward. That's the last thing you want to do. They're expecting this spawn. It's a very obvious spawn. The last thing you want to do is spawn in that area and just run forward. You want to try and get the kills to open up the map at the end of the day. So that's what you're going to want to try and look for. You want to try and look for the kills first and then progress. So you can see I'm trying to play really credible here, trying to put out as much damage as I can, making sure I'm going from cover to cover, and making sure I've got the advantage in most of the gunfights. Now I decided to throw a nade to my right here because I'm reading that one of them is going to just push around to try and kill me. Unfortunately, I don't think I get a hit marker here. No, I don't. But it's just trying to open up the map, get the kills that matter, and then push forward. Now, this is the trickiest round we've got. We're trying to learn that, as I say, we're trying to learn the tendencies of the enemy team. We managed to get an objective, which is fine. But because we're just running at the hill over and over again, it's we're at a life advantage here. So that is a mistake I want to point out. What I should have done in this situation, we have one player down, teammate gets two. Instead of trying to run to support the player, because I'm thinking they're just going to be flying at the hill, I need to support the player as an AR. What I should have done is just watch the balcony. And that's unfortunately got me killed. I didn't do that. We learn from that. I know now from that situation that that's what I need to do. Teammate puts a good stint in to try and secure the rest of the round, but unfortunately not enough. So switching sides. Now, on defense, you're going to notice this a lot. My main goal on defense, the three spawns from the enemy team are here, here, and here. I want, in an ideal situation, to spawn the enemies all the way over here, because what that means is they are at the furthest possible spawn from this hill, from this objective, okay, from that control point. And what it does is that as soon as I can communicate to my team, and if my team knows spawns, which I'm hoping they do, if they see that I'm here in this zone blocking this spawn, the enemies are going to be spawning over here, which means that all my teammates all really need to do is, focus that area, focus that area, focus that area, and not let them out of spawn. And that's what I'm trying to get out of this hill, out of this control map. Now, in a real ideal situation, if I can find myself here and a teammate of someone on my team can find themselves back here, the enemies actually spawn back here, which means that we can then just trap them in. We can have a point of view that looks like that. As they run out, we've literally got the crosses out, and we can have the other two teammates here and here, essentially making sure they can't get out even further. But that's the ideal trap here. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to spawn trap them. So that's in the back of my head all the time as we're playing this map mode combo. Now, the worst thing that can happen is if they get B first. So I commit to B just as a first entry point, and then if I really need to, I can try and worm my way around to the A point. Now, I've just noticed a teammate has just killed somebody. It's a 3-second delay, give or take. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but I think it's a 3.5-second spawn delay on control. This player is going to spawn in as we've pushed this left side, so I'm just very cautious that they'd have spawned in at this point, and I'm looking for that kill off spawn. I think they would have spawned P2, but that's who I'm sort of looking for in this situation. My teammate gets a further 3 kills, which is really nice. All I'm doing here is playing off info. I can see instantly on the minimap, my teammate's pushed up the left here, so he's taken on the role that I think I was hoping to get at the very beginning of this round. So I'm trying to play for the kills. I know they're spawning on this right here. I'm trying to play my life, be difficult. At the end of the day, they've got to run into this really open space you can see here because of where my teammate's positioned on the left of me. So I'm just trying to keep them in here, get a spawn trap going. I noticed one coming to my cat stairs, so I'm trying to pre-fire them. But we're just trying to be really difficult here. This is a real nice situation we're in now because we're 10-ish, 8, 9, 10 lives up. And we're just trying to keep them in that little quadrant of the map, which is really important. I think one did leak through, and unfortunately we got caught off guard. But we've done a good stint there. That's a real nice round of kills, and it does slow them down a lot. It does give us the benefit going into defending the both control points. So I noticed there was an enemy who touched B as I was coming out of spawn, which is why I'm checking my corners. And that's how I managed to thankfully get that kill. There we go. You throw the trophy in front of the car, so the nade catches the car, catches the trophy before the car. But again, you're trying to just stop them getting to the point. I'm not sat top R waiting for them to get to B. I'm not sat up here just trying to take on the gunfights. I'm trying to move up the map. I'm trying to spawn trap them. At the end of the day, if I'm here and I lose this gunfight, by the time they move up to this position, I've spawned in and moved up that same amount of distance. Okay, so as long as I'm putting pressure forwards, we're always going to have more map control. And again, it is about that map control. You want to make sure you're pushed up as far as you can as a team to spawn them as far back as possible. And if you can, even better, if you've got the control of this area of the map, because they're going to spawn here, as I said at the beginning, and they're going to be trapped. So that's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to get my own trade with the nade. That should land at the palms. It does. It's a really solid nade. I'll pat myself on the back for that one. My teammate gets the weak call. I'm trying to look for this player. Now, this player can be really annoying because what I'm very worried about is if an enemy is in this building, we are going to spawn all the way over here. And as you can tell, with them spawning over here, not quite there, probably about there, the time for us to get to the hill and the time for them to get to the hill is pretty much the same distance. So me making sure that we try and kill this player from this building means my teammates can then spawn over here, meaning it's a much shorter route to the hill, allowing them to get to the hill quicker than the enemies do off of spawn each side. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So my teammate managed to pick up the kill behind me. I hear the gunshots. I see him come up on the kill feed. So I know my teammate's just got that kill. Although we don't have the comms, I'm trying to engage in that somewhat, and I'm just really trying to play my life. Whilst I'm here, they're going to be conscious of me. I'm not trying to get up in the top of the window because it's a fairly predictable spot. Unfortunately, they do have auto ping, and for whatever reason, they've got a paddle on the back of the controller to ping us, so they always seem to know where we are. So I just bear that in mind. And again, that's something we're trying to learn and adapt to as we're playing through this map, which is why it gets better and better. And now we're in the situation where my teammates really don't have much map control. Okay, we are a little bit stuck. But my thought process here is a lot of the enemies are going to be here. They're going to know they've just killed 3 enemies. So a lot of the time, a lot of their focus is going to be this side of the map. So if I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I've managed to get through here. If I can get all the way through, turn around, get some kills, or at least shoot, they're then going to turn their attention to me, allowing my team to push out spawn without facing as many gunfights. Okay, so I'm in short, if I really try and simplify that, I'm flanking around the back, getting a couple kills of the enemies who are now on the point, hoping that instead of them looking towards my teammates over here, they're then going to turn around and try and look at me. At most, I just need to play my life. I need to get one kill, play my life, trust my team to pinch them from the other side. And me playing my life here, if I can get into gold, it resets their spawn to spawn all the way back here rather than here, which is where they would have been spawning before. So that's what's going on in my head as I'm trying to push this area of the map. So a little bit of trigger discipline enabled me to get a little bit more info before I got those kills. I get 2 kills. My teammates have then been able to get an extra couple of kills. And because I know where they're spawning, and I didn't realize my teammate was pushed up on the right, they actually spawned middle of the map. Again, I watched the kill cam. I saw there was a guy catwalk. I saw there was a person coming vault. There was 2 then coming off spawn. And that's pretty much the round win. I was just making sure my teammate getting pinched, and that was it. 12-13-1, and we win the round. Which this nice play again. This is when they were trapped in the spawn. But this is what you got to do. This is what you got to try and do. Find out where they're spawning, isolate where they have map control, and just try and pin them in. Play a life, be annoying, be unpredictable. You know, that's sort of the aim of being in this position. Okay, offense. Now this is again, we struggled with this last time, so we're learning from our mistakes, trying to do something a little bit differently. So you're seeing I'm doing something completely different here. Teammate picks up an absolutely huge 2-piece. That is 3 down, meaning there's going to be 3 people coming off spawn. I no longer have the catwalk push. I don't have that cover, and that's often a place enemies like to come and look over the point. So I'm nading that, presuming that's where they're going to be coming from. But we've got 3 enemies down. They're all going to be reset back here. We've got 3 on the hill, like so. By the time they get to here, we'd have probably got the point, or it's going to be at least really, really close, but we are still conscious of that one player. That's in the back of our heads. We've probably got 5 to 10 seconds before the people who we've just killed come and challenge us again. So for now, we're resetting a bit. Unfortunately, I did hit myself with a nade. And I'm just trying to play that cut off. Again, I know they're spawning here. They know we're going to be stacking this point. The most direct route for them to rush is light. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm playing the first line of defense, trying to get at least a couple of kills before allowing them to the point really, really easily. Fortunately, we do get 2-pieced, 3-pieced, which isn't ideal. My teammate does pick up the final kill. And I did manage to get a live ping off. I was trying to be a bit cheesy. I was getting frustrated that they had a live ping and we weren't, but I don't have it paddled or anything like that, so it just wasn't as fluid as it would have been for them. In hindsight, I should have won that gunfight at lights. I know that's me, you know, criticizing myself, which is what we should all be doing, but I should have won that gunfight at lights. I should have predicted the fact that there was going to be more enemies to come and I shouldn't have reloaded. Now I know that enemy saw me. I'm presuming they saw me, so I'm just trying to be a little bit unpredictable. Managed to get the kill. That's 2 down. And again, I'm just trying to be annoying. I'm trying to make it so that the enemies are more focused on me than they are the players in my spawn. Now, I know what it's like to be able to spawn trap an enemy team, so I'm trying to relieve that pressure from my teammates, trying to clean up the kills over this area of the map, enabling my teammates to get out. So I'm just trying to be annoying, trying to get some damage out and allow my teammates to come out of the spawn and you know, hop on the hill with me. So we managed to get our first few kills there, which is really, really important. And as I say, I've got a sub. The most logical place for me to push this next objective is just under the vault. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Thankfully, they were more concerned about me jumping on the point, which freed my teammate to push up round to this left-hand side here, which is really, really nice. Now, when there's only B left to capture, having an AR is way more effective than having a submachine gun, so I've literally switched up. That's what I've done here. Again, get that first kill, try and be annoying, do as much damage as I possibly can. Teammate managed to get a good couple of kills there, so kudos to those. And we're in a real nice spot. So we're at this point now, I'm just trying to stop them from getting to the point. I assumed this teammate would have picked up that player, or at least this player would have chowed my teammate before trying to get around to the point, which is a wrong assumption. It was just a misread. It happens. We're in a real good position now. We're in a nice position where we're probably spawning as equally far from the point as they are, because we had our teammate up there. That's a common peak. So I didn't have any info on another player. I didn't know where they were. I knew there was going to be a player challenging top, because that's what most players do. And I'm just trying to support my teammate who was just on the objective at that time. Again, I'm trying to stay down. I'm trying to play my life. I'm trying to be as annoying as possible to enable my team to push easier. As far as I'm concerned, the longer they are, focused on me like they are now, the less likely they are to focus on my teammates, which allows my teammates out and allows them to get map control with me. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to be annoying. Unfortunately, we get a little bit broken down here, but look at the lives. We've got a little bit of a life advantage, even though we were being spawn trapped at the start, and we've got a full reset. Now, thankfully, we've spawned. Oh, where did we spawn quickly? Yeah, we spawned here. So, and the fact we spawned here tells you that the enemies have pushed up this tree. Okay, that means otherwise you'd have spawned back here. So the fact the enemy spawned up here, we now know that, okay, there's going to be someone over this area. We need to be careful of that. But let's see if we can just take a route around. Let's see what we can do with that knowledge. So we're pushing as a really close-knit unit, meaning that we can hopefully get trades if we can, and we're progressing around the map evenly together. We somehow managed to get our teammates trade, and that leaves us in a 4v1 situation. We won such important gunfights there, coming out of the spawn, and we ended up with the dub. Final defense. And because they didn't put any emphasis on B last time, in my head I'm going, let me just try and deter their push at A. Again, learning from their mechanics and learning from their tendencies of the previous couple of rounds. Unfortunately, we do get wiped with our teammate being the only one left up. B is my focus. If we lose B, it's really hard to maintain a good win of this round. So a god nade from the spawn has enabled us to get this control of this left-hand side. And although they're nearly capturing A, because my teammates have enabled a push all the way up to the left, we've instantly got them trapped in spawn. Any kills now have them spawn in that back P2 room, which is what I sort of mentioned before. So it really enables us, that our teammate being that far back has enabled us to focus on one particular direction in the map. So I'm trying to be annoying. Unfortunately, my teammate did fall back left, which means they're not going to spawn quite as right as they used to now. Again, I'm just trying to hold that line of defense, trying to be that first player they had to kill before getting on the point or before progressing up the map. And again, in the kill cam, I can see a couple of people pushed up to B, so I'm trying to clean my way out of this easily. Yeah, as I say, my main aim here now is to obtain control of this left street and push up to that building on the deep far left, making them spawn all the way back right. And that's my main focus right now. Again, stun nade off spawn. Try and be predictable here. Try and play my life as much as I possibly can. And that is a huge kill. If I lose that gunfight, as I say, if I lose that gunfight and the enemy stays here and they get the dub in that building, every time our team spawn in, they spawn here, which again is a super long way to the hill. It means we've got to cross this really open objective while someone's watching our cross to get to this point that they've got left to capture. And the fact I won that gunfight meant that we now have the control. We have a closer spawn, and I've got control of this top building, looking over the one objective they have left. There's a minute and a half left of the hill. We've got even amount of lives. It's a real 50-50 game. My teammate's got control of this left-hand side here, so I'm not as concerned about this. I'm just trying to jiggle peek and see if anyone tries to pinch. I do get sight of a player in square, which my teammate manages to kill. And now we've got a couple of kills here. We've got a decent amount of map control. I'm just trying to progress up the map a little bit. I've just, the player in Vault has shot, so my teammates know he's there. My teammate has picked it up, so I don't need to chase it with them. And we're just trying to push our defense slowly up the map, keeping them as far choked into the spawn as possible. So I was being shot from gold. I think that was a player who was trying to shoot me. Thankfully, they had an AR, so I can pick it up and put that in my back pocket. And now we're just watching them come off spawn. Okay, so my teammates should know where I am. They should know that the enemies are, as a result, spawning P2. And yeah, it's so important being alive in this area. It's so important being alive. I'm trying to use the attack map, and that's essentially what we're trying to use to read where the enemies are and where my teammates are, and therefore where the enemies are spawning. So the fact that we've got to come back to B isn't a crazy thing. Realistically, it enables the fact that we're pushing from this side. As I said, means my teammates can push from that side with less people looking at them. And the fact we've just spawned all the way out now, we've spawned here. Oops, we've spawned here means that they've got a player in this building. Okay, so that's information we can use as we push out the spawn. So it means that we don't just want to run out of spawn blindly. We want to make sure that we've got look like this. I'm checking my left, making sure they can't kill me from that left-hand side. Unfortunately, I get on a real nice heady, which means it's not as easy to kill me. And that frees up our time to just attack the objective itself. So my teammate got a couple of good kills. Teammate's going absolutely huge there. They're still in that top building. It's now 7 versus 2. Teammate actually went huge this round. I've got to admit. 7 versus 2. I'm thinking, let's just try and get up the map as much as we can. Let's see where they are. I think that's pretty much game. It has to be. The video's nearly over, you're saying. It has to be. Now, I know this was a quick run through of the strats in this game, map mode combo. If you prefer the more longer videos where I break it down even further, let me know. I'm trying to find a fine balance because I know a couple of the videos in the recent on the channel have been way too long. They've been like 45 minutes or so, and I know there's some of you here who are literally put off by clicking on that video because it's so long. So hopefully this one's a little bit shorter and a little bit more, a little better for some of you. But as I say, feedback is obviously wanted down below. So do let me know. So that'll do from me. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I shall see you in the next one. Ciao for now.